There are some stories we hear so many times we think we know them inside and out. But today, we're going to take a fresh look at one of those classics, the fable of the lion and the mouse, and really unpack what it tells us about power, mercy, and where help can come from when you least expect it.
And really, this whole fable, it all comes down to one simple but, pretty deep question. Can even the most powerful person or creature in the world actually need help? It's a question that kind of flips our whole idea of strength on its head.
So to dig into that, we've got our two main players. And they're not even introduced by name here, just by their roles. On the left, in that big, bold font, you've got the sovereign, the picture of power. And on the right, in tiny, humble letters, the savior. I mean, the contrast says it all, right? So, who are they?
All right, so let's set the scene. We're deep in the jungle, and we meet our sovereign, the undisputed king of it all, and his unlikely co-star, a teeny tiny mouse.
So picture this. The Lion King is totally blissed out. He just had a big meal, he's taking a nap, he's powerful, but he's relaxed. And then this little mouse comes along and, well, he doesn't see a terrifying predator. He sees a jungle gym. He thinks it'd be fun to play on him.
But what starts as a bit of harmless fun is about to get very, very real. The mouse is about to make a mistake that could easily be his last. And just like that, it happens. The mouse gets a little too bold, zips up the lion's tail, and uses it like a slide. Well, that little joyride shatters the peace, and boom, the king wakes up with a roar that probably shook the leaves off the trees. The game is definitely over. And in that one moment, there is zero question about who's in charge. The lion's massive paw slams down, and the mouse is trapped. It's not even a fight. He's completely helpless, just seconds away from becoming a very quick snack for a very annoyed king.
Okay, so with his life literally on the line, the mouse does the only thing he can think of. He makes this desperate, bold promise. Maybe one day I can help you. I mean, can you imagine? It's an insane claim to make when you're about to be eaten. And the lion's reaction? He laughs. He just starts laughing. The idea that this tiny, trembling thing could ever help him, the king of everything, it's just the funniest thing he's ever heard. His anger just melts away into pure amusement.
Now, this next part is key. The lion shows mercy, but you've got to pay close attention to why he shows mercy. It's not what you might think.
He looks down at the little mouse and says, "You're lucky. I've just eaten. Now go." So let's be clear. This isn't about compassion. Not at all. It comes from a full stomach and, frankly, arrogance. He lets the mouse go because he's too small to be a meal, and his promise was just too funny to take seriously.
So he just lifts his paw. And the mouse scurries off, probably thanking every star in the sky. But that one single act of casual kindness, it's about to set a whole chain of events in motion that will change everything. Of course, as stories like this go, the tables were destined to turn. The day finally comes when our sovereign, this symbol of unbeatable power, finds himself completely, totally helpless.
And what's interesting is what takes him down. It's not a bigger, stronger animal. It's cunning. It's a plan. Some hunters lay a net, they hide, and the lion, just relying on his usual strength, walks right into it. They pull a rope, and just like that, all his power means absolutely nothing. He's caught.
And now, look at the irony. The king, who laughed at the very idea of needing help, is roaring his lungs out, begging for it. He's tangled up, and the more he struggles, the tighter the ropes get. The hunters are so confident, they just leave to go get a cart. The king is alone and utterly defeated. But someone does hear those desperate roars, and help is coming from the one place he would never, ever expect. Yep, it's that same little mouse, the one he laughed at. And when he hears the king's roar, what does he do? He doesn't hold a grudge. He doesn't hesitate. He recognizes a cry for help, and he runs right towards the danger to make good on his promise. He gets there, sees the mighty king completely helpless, and with total confidence says, "Don't worry, my king, I will free you." The roles have now been 100% reversed. The savior has arrived. So how does he do it? Not with brute force. We already saw how that failed the lion. He uses his power, his specific, unique skill. He climbs up on that net and just starts chewing through those thick ropes with his sharp little teeth, one by one. All right, so the lion is free, the day is saved, but that's not really the end of the story, is it? The real meat of this fable, the reason we still tell it, is in the lesson. So let's break down the true essence of it all. So what are the big takeaways here? First, A kindness, even a small, casual one, is never, ever wasted. Second, mercy has a funny way of bringing its own reward, usually when you least expect it. Third, and this one is huge, little friends can become your greatest allies. And finally, maybe the most important lesson of all. True power isn't just about size or muscle. It comes in all forms, like loyalty, courage, and unique skills.
And the line, he gets it now. He is humbled. He's grateful. He doesn't just thank the mouse. He makes him a prince of the jungle, recognizing his value not as some lowly subject, but as an equal. And that's the real transformation, from sovereign and subject to, true friends.
And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. As we wrap this up, just think about your own life for a second. Who are the lions and who are the mice? Have you ever underestimated someone's ability to help you? Or maybe you've been the mouse, the one who proved that strength comes in some pretty unexpected packages. It's a powerful idea to consider. Thanks for joining me.